Champion. 12 rounds of boxing for the undisputed lightweight championship of the world. Somebody's has got to go. It's all brought to you by Hall of Fame promoter Lou DiBella and DiBella Entertainment in association with Hall of Fame promoter Bob Arum and Top Rank Incorporated, along with Ferocious Promotions, Devin Haney Promotions, TIG Sport, and Duco Events. Sponsored by the Drop.Pro, the official NFT site. Visit Victoria, Culture Kings, Tab, and Crypto Spin. Sanctioned by the Combat Sports Board of Victoria and the World Boxing Council, the World Boxing Association, the World Boxing Organization, and the International Boxing Federation. At ringside, the officials scoring our judges from Hungary, Zoltan Enyedi; from Poland, Pavel Kargini; from Canada, Benoit Rousseau; and the referee in charge of the action at the bell from Panama, Hector Afu. And now, from Marvell Stadium, here in Victoria, Australia, this is the contest the world has been waiting for. 50,000 fans in attendance. Ladies and gentlemen, the officials are ready. The fighters are ready. So for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing khaki and officially weighing in at 134.92 pounds. His professional record is a perfect one. 27 fights, 27 victories, including 15 wins by knockout. From Las Vegas, Nevada, he is the lightweight fighting pride of the United States of America, the reigning and defending, undefeated WBC lightweight champion of the world, Devin the Dream Haney. And across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing gold with blue, officially weighing in at 134.49 pounds. Like his opponent, he also has a perfect professional record, consisting of 20 fights, 20 victories, 10 wins by knockout. From Sydney, New South Wales, he's the lightweight fighting pride of all Australia, the reigning, defending WBA, WBO, IBF, and ring lightweight champion of the world, George Ferocious Kamboses Jr.
Okay, guys. I got the instruction. The dressing room. I want a clean fight, okay? Touch glove, good look. Thank you.
In his last fight, when George Kamboses, Timmy, won all the belts, the split decision over Teofimo Lopez, it was round one that really defined things when Teofimo, who had predicted a first-round knockout, came out swinging somewhat recklessly, was landing clean right hands, but instead it was Kamboses who floored him with a huge right of his own. Devin Haney early on in most of his career comes out, controls things with the jab, and sets his rhythm, his tone, dictates the pace of the fight. What do you expect early on?
Well, for Kamboses, the biggest obstacle that I see for him is the jab of Haney, which disrupts the timing and rhythm of his counterpunching style. He's going to need to control distance at times to make the jab fall short. He's going to have to use that parry to deflect that jab. And he's also going to have to slip in the inside to land some combinations down to the head and body of Haney.
I didn't do a lot of talking, but also we are getting.
For Haney needs to take this fight round by round. establish his jab early. Use probes, feints, level-changing jabs to confuse and keep kamboses off balance.
That's what he has done time and again throughout his career. And in more recent outings, finding himself in just a touch of trouble late. We saw that against Linares. We saw that against Jojo Diaz.
Both guys right now trying to establish distance right now in range. They got a lot of respect for each other. Did you see that jab of Haney came out, but did you see the automatic response from Kamboses? He's a reactive fighter. He reacts to anything that his opponents do. Kamboses is sitting on the right hand. That's what he wants. He's looking for an overhand right. He's looking for Haney up there, just off the mark right there.
Trying to get it over the jab of Haney. Of course, Haney is so defensively sound. Opponents only land 8 punches per round against him. Steady work from the jab with Devin Haney.
Nice little tie-up right there. Haney shot his jab right down the middle, caught Kamboses, but then he shot it again, but then quickly closed the gap so that way he could stop Kamboses from firing any counter punches.
Here the crowd reacts as Kamboses fires off on the inside. Nothing effective there, but this is exactly what we talk about, these stadium settings. Any offensive aggression from the local favorite will get that kind of reaction. Hector Afu, the referee from Panama City, establishing things early. 19 years in the business, 321 bouts refereed for Afu.
Watch your head.
Nice right hand right there from Haney, switching it up. Kamboses was expecting the jab.
10 seconds.
Saw
He
plenty
changed
of it
up
in round
right
one.
hand.
And then the right hand comes to close out round one.
Okay, this is a freezer, not a time capsule. Sometimes the house itself can tell you how a young homeowner is turning into their parents.
Not those two.
Yep, they're gone.
Forever?
Yep.
That there is Progressive's Home Quote Explorer website where I compared home insurance rates.
We don't need to print the internet. Some are beyond help. I will give you $100 if you can tell me what this is. Scotch egg. It's a meatball.
Progressive can't help you from becoming your parents, but we can help you compare rates on home insurance with Home Quote Explorer.
We've got a lot of work to do.
From prom dresses to workouts and new adventures, you hope the more you give, the less they'll miss. But even if your teen was vaccinated against meningitis in the past, they may be missing vaccination for meningitis B. Although uncommon, up to 1 in 5 survivors of meningitis will have long-term consequences. Now, as you're thinking about all the vaccines your teen might need, make sure you ask your doctor if your teen is missing meningitis B vaccination.
Back here, round number 2 for the Undisputed Lightweight Championship. In that first round, Devin Haney had an 8-5 connect advantage over Kamboses. And as you would expect, consistent work with the jab.
See, that's what it's all about right there. That lead hand of Haney, that's going to do a lot of damage right there. Kamboses is a counterpuncher. Nice comeback right there. Great defense from Devin Haney.
There's that jab from range. Popping it off the hip. Tried to come with the right hand behind at that time.
That's a 4-inch reach advantage for Haney.
Break. Baby. Break.
72-inch reach for Haney. 68 for Kamboses. Kamboses trying to time that right hand as Haney crossed the threshold.
Don't push.
I'm going to tell you right now, Haney better be careful. Kamboses right now is downloading some information. I've seen a couple of habits, bad habits from Haney. Haney trying to close the distance out at range and no man's land this times. And he's dropping his head a bit. Look for that uppercut of Kamboses. Kamboses to find a home.
Oh! That time, he paid the price coming forward.
Best punch of the round so far for Kamboses. Right hand over the top. See, Haney got to be patient. He got to be cautious. He got to be patient. He needs to be first and also last. Get Kamboses to shoot and make him miss and then make him pay. His head is right there on the line.
Changing levels with the jab is Haney. On the inside, tried to go with the short right hand. Then they tie up. A fu will separate them.
See, every time you get hit with that jab, doesn't matter what you had planned, you have to reset your feet. Kamboses has to keep resetting his feet every time Haney lands a jab. Let's see what type of adjustment he makes moving forward.
Short left hand on the inside landed for Kamboses.
From prom dresses to workouts and new adventures.
Round.
Ooh, it's an extremely technical match right now. This is high-speed chess. That's what you're watching. Haney realizing the speed of Kamboses, the footwork of Kamboses, and how quickly he reacts to every move that he makes. So he has to be careful.
Kamboses talked about his speed, his foot speed, his hand speed, being the big advantage he felt he had in this fight. See, outright distance when he throws it at the right range, Haney, he has no problem, no issue with return fire. It's a beautiful jab, but when he steps in and sometimes fall in, that's where you're going to see the counters come from Kamboses. Kamboses wants those opportunities, as you say, a reactive fighter to punch between punches. Three-punch combination from Haney as Kamboses backs away. There's that jab, trying to time a right hand.
Nice right hand right over the top. See, now Haney realizing now he has to use some combinations at times. The combinations will slow down and clog the lanes, the punching lanes of Kamboses, who is a prolific counterpuncher.
Here's Haney coming forward as he chops down with an overhand right.
Watch your head.
Haney right there attempting to change up, leading with the left hook. Get him used to seeing the jab and then change up with the lead left hook. Can surprise your opponent. Great footwork right there from Haney.
Finished with the hook and able to touch him. Ooh, wild swinging with the left hook from Kamboses and a matador retreat from Haney effectively.
Haney got his rhythm now. He got Kamboses' rhythm now. Indication he's landing now.
End of round 3 here in Melbourne.
I didn't win the lawsuit, but everybody knows our
Fight, okay?
Tim, at the end of the third round, you made the comment that Devin Haney has found his rhythm and kamboses' rhythm. That was put forth from Bill Haney, his father, his chief second, in the corner afterwards.
Haney looking sharp right now. Yes, he's looking very sharp right now.
Double jab didn't fire off the right hand as he stepped forward.
But Haney has to be cautious. Kamboses has a way of luring in guys and catching them when they least expect it.
Haney being an elusive target for Kamboses.
That stab
jab to the body, just that stab jab right to the belt line.
Oh, that makes you reset too, and it sipes your gas tank, Tess.
If you have talked about that jab being one of the most frustrating weapons you can put forth to a ready counterpuncher, that automatic reset you described to keep Kamboses at bay offensively.
Off balance, confused, having to figure things out right now. Still hasn't found his rhythm. You want to know why he hasn't found his rhythm? Is because he keeps missing with his offense.
Right hand from Haney.
No, Devin.
Haney's not allowing Kamboses to work. It's smart boxing right now from Haney. Controlling the distance outside, and anytime Kamboses look to come in, throw combinations, he ties him up or he steps back.
Darting in and out. And that time able to land the left hand at the end.
Beautiful exit right there from Haney. Going around the weak side of Kamboses, which is towards the left hand. Getting around the back of Kamboses.
Kamboses trying to close that gap. Unable to work on the inside, though, when he does.
Too slippery. Ooh, nice shot right there from Kamboses.
And you hear the reaction from the crowd.
I've travelled all over, telling folks they could save by bundling home and car insurance. But here's the real secret. Eye contact.
Settle back and bundle.
Joe Tessitore and Tim Bradley with you here in Melbourne, Australia. Undisputed lightweight championship fight on the line. Javier Centeno, the trainer of George Kamboses, the lightweight champion, giving him an earful, trying to put forth an offensive plan and how they can deliver against the often elusive target of Devin Haney, who's been controlling things with that jab and with that range.
Right now, Kamboses is operating at the wrong range. He's trying to outbox a masterclass boxer. He needs to get inside and try to rough things up. Need to let those combinations fly. Whoa, nice.
There's a right uppercut.
Beautiful shot right up the middle, in between the offense of Kamboses. It's beautiful boxing by Haney. The feints, the jab, the movement, making his punches fall short. Kamboses' punches fall short. Tying up in the inside. Perfect fight so far for Haney. Look at the defense.
Tying up after two-punch combinations, Kamboses tried to get work on the inside.
Tess, when you have an elusive target like Haney, you got to focus in one area. You got to focus down to the body. That's where Kamboses needs to focus. Use that jab down to the body, shoot right hands down to the body. He needs to throw them straight, too. You don't need to loop them. hands on the inside for Haney.
Back to the jab.
See, another thing that Haney's doing, he's changing the cadence up. You know, he'll slow things down. He'll speed things up. He'll show a flicking jab, then he'll throw a straight jab right behind it. It's confusing Kamboses. And Tessa's face is starting to swell a bit.
You see some redness. You can hear the corner of Haney encouraging him to put the right hand behind the jab at this point. Kamboses free swinging with the right of his own, and again, Haney able to get out of range.
10 seconds.
Good footwork, good upper body movement from the undefeated American Devin Haney.
It takes energy.
Come on, this way you start the rolling now. We're in round 3.
Now is when we start to pick it up.
He's tired.
Most basic tool in all of boxing, the jab, and being used effectively through 5 rounds here in Melbourne, Australia by the American hopeful Devin Haney.
The jab and changing the rhythm of the jab, and also the upper body movement of Haney, giving a lot of trouble and problems for Kamboses. Kamboses every now and then tries to change his rhythm up, but then Haney quickly adapts and makes adjustments and get right back to doing what he's doing, landing as often as possible.
No. Don't push. Hey, Haney.
Tess, Haney just got to be careful not to fall asleep, one. And he also needs to be careful because right now the fight is seemingly easy for him. Not to start taking things for granted because Kamboses is still dangerous.
Getting Kamboses to react to even the slightest movement, the feint, the step forward. Kamboses needs moments where the exchanges are willing. He leads with a left hook.
There it is.
His corner was calling for that after the 5th round. We heard that from Javier Centeno.
Haney usually defaults to that area. He'll lean on that back foot, Tess. He'll drop that right hand at times. He's open for the left hook.
No. No, break. Hey. Hey, keep fighting. Keep fight.
Nice check hook right there. Catching Kamboses with his chin up. Right hand down.
Working our way to the halfway point of this undisputed lightweight world championship fight, coming to the end of round 6. Can the American bring back all the belts? He's got himself a superstar fan who traveled all the way here to see it, Mark Riegel.
Yeah, Dame Lillard's got to be very happy with what he's seen to this point. Damian Lillard's got to be really happy with what he's seen to this point. He's been following Devin Haney since the amateurs. They're both from Oakland. He was behind the scenes for the weigh-in. He says that Devin has remained exactly the same, not too high, not too low since he's been here, and obviously through this the first 6 rounds. I spoke to Javier Centeno, gave some unorthodox advice. I said, "How are you going to solve this puzzle? Lift his head up. How are you going to do that?" He goes, "Lead uppercut, right hand." I never really heard it before. Get off the line, lead uppercut, right hand. Kind of risky, fellas.
How about Big Game Dave traveling all the way down here to Australia, saying, "I got to be here if history is made for Devin Haney." Listen, there are a lot of pro athletes who are huge fight fans. Nobody I know a bigger fight fan than Damian Lillard. He's blowing up our DMs all the time, every single weekend, talking about all the big fights, and he is on his feet to see if Devin Haney can keep boxing his way to success. Round number 7.
You know, the biggest reason why Haney's able to land that jab, if you look at Kamboses' stance, he's heavy on his front foot. He walks forward, marches forward. He has that back leg up most of the time, but he's heavy, and he leans slightly forward, bringing his head closer to the jab of Haney.
Tim, the other day we sat with Devin Haney as Kamboses tries to get an offensive surge going before they tie up against the ropes. And we discussed with Haney, at what point, if you feel like you are controlling things and managing things so well with the jab, do you start taking just enough risk?
These moments, Tess, is about winning. That's it. Winning. That's what it's about. Stay simple. It's working. There's no need. He'll know when it's time to step it up. But right now, Kamboses is extremely dangerous. He's still hot.
Right hand to the body from Haney.
And Haney's throwing everything. Everything. Kamboses looks bewildered right now. He has no idea what's going on. All he knows is he's getting hit. Heads came together right there.
Right. Hey, watch your head.
Story of the night has been that jab of Haney. Oh, it's destroying Kamboses. Shredding his face little by little. Disrupting his timing. Taking his heart. Not allowing him to do anything. Ooh. And setting up shots like that right hand. Short right hand from Haney. Oh my goodness. You're seeing a young master at work. That's what you're seeing right now, folks at home. A young master at work.
End of round number 7. Haney maintaining the lead.
Good. He's going to go ahead. Stop running him down. Remember, he's going to close the gap as soon as he misses. Okay? I need that little angle change. Okay? That little angle change has to be quick. Remember, we need more.
Fight the shoulders. Okay? You see, you don't have nothing on the hook side. Nothing. Okay? I mean, more feints. Right? And listen, every time he goes to the high guard, he don't got nothing. Okay? Keep him in the high guard, okay? Huh? Keep him in the high guard. That's why you keep him with the feints. Stay away from the right hand. He's looking for one punch now. You know what I'm saying? He's looking for one shot. Don't give it to him. Keep boxing. Box his face with that shit.
Bill Haney telling his son, Kamboses is looking for one shot. Don't give it to him.
He's exactly right. These desperate situations are desperate moments for fighters. He can't get caught up in that. He's got to remain focused and poised just as he is right now.
Devin Haney has landed 46 jabs through 7 rounds.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, I knew that hook was coming, Tess.
And then he changes up the levels with the jab.
There's just so much going on that Kamboses has to deal with. From Haney, the skill set, the athleticism, the speed, the footwork, the fast twitch muscles of Devin Haney. Ooh.
His corner's been calling for the left hook up top for a few rounds. 1-2 combination from Haney and then turns out to the right.
That's the weak side, Tess. You don't see that a lot from fighters going around that weak side. You see it from guys like Lomachenko, and now you're seeing it for the young fella, the young master, Devin Haney. The weak side is going away from the power hand, which is the right hand.
You can see an abrasion under the left eye of George Kamboses. Also some redness above the eye. And a little bit of swelling underneath the right eye. The steady pumping of that jab from Devin Haney causing that.
Beautiful turn right there. Up jab right off the hip, coming right between the guard, splitting the guard. Haney's pulling out everything. He's pulling out everything.
And again.
He's looking sweet right now.
And then the footwork, always keeping himself safe. Sticking to the plan. Not altering course. And controlling the fight because of it.
Kamboses is fighting the wrong fight. I have no idea what his game plan is. He's not closing the distance. He's not letting his combinations fly. He has to close the distance somehow and let those combinations fly. Something will eventually land. Ooh, nice body shot for Kamboses.
And just by stepping up the pace with aggression, you can hear the roar from over 40,000 here at Marble Stadium. Double jab closes out the 8th round, though, for Devin Haney. Top-ranked early this morning. It has been honored beat the drum roaring, silenced.
Silenced. Absolutely. Kamboses needs to turn up this tempo now. This is where the fight starts for him. He has to turn up the tempo. Change the tempo. It's too much sitting in front. Close that gap quickly. Come behind the jab. Throw combinations to the head and body. Don't allow Haney to tie him up.
And Haney comes right back out. And double jabs, and then goes with the uppercut.
See, you're going to stay out that distance, you're going to get beat every single time. He needs to close the gap quickly. Pick up those legs.
Oh, right hand.
She hurt him with that right hand.
Right hand comes in from Haney.
Oh, right hand from Kamboses.
Kamboses fires back.
This is it. Kamboses needs to turn it up right now, Tess.
Mark Kriegel is with Bill Haney, the father and trainer of Devin.
Bill, tell me what your son, how he's opening him up.
Oh, he's breaking him down. He's breaking him down slowly. He's been working stick.
Was the trip worth it? Bill, was it? Oh.
No.
Rolls Royce. He's driving that Rolls Royce. Again, the wrong range for Kamboses. Let those hands go. He has to return fire. He's not being reactive like he was early on. Now he is. That's what he needs to do. More of that. Let those hands go. If he wants to come back in this fight. Oh, nice right hand.
And then from the corner of Haney, you just keep hearing, keep boxing. Keep boxing. Some redness and swelling just under the right eye of Devin Haney. Nearly a clash of heads on the inside to close out round 9. Getting rough in there.
Beautiful comeback right here from Kamboses. We need more of this from him. That's what we need. He needs to rough up Haney if he wants to better his chances of landing something late in this fight. Haney's been elusive for the most part of this fight.
We ready for round number 10. Big Game Dane looking up at that screen, nervously anticipating this stretch run in supporting Devin Haney. Can he keep the course? In recent fights, Haney has had moments that he's had to get through late, especially against Linares back in May of 21, when he staggered Devin in the 9th and 10th round. But the jab has been effective. Haney is over 2 times the lightweight average for jabs landed per round in this outing against Kamboses.
Kamboses throwing one punch at a time, and he keeps looking for the overhand right. Young Lion can see it coming. He needs to change it up. Kamboses needs to lead with a left hook and then throw the right hand. Do something different.
Devin Haney has thrown more than Kamboses. He's landed more than Kamboses. A 111 to 95 total connect advantage. 59 of those are jabs.
Great body work right there from Kamboses. Oh, right hand over the top. Didn't do anything. Haney didn't seem fazed at all by that right hand. Kamboses is committing to the body now of Haney. Trying to set up something up top. That's exactly what he's looking for. Trying to set up something up top.
He chopped down with the right hand. Then on the end of the exchange, he purposely grabbed down to Haney's left hand, pulled him around, and tried to see if there was any opportunity for the right of his own.
Tessie had no choice. He had no choice. Desperate situations.
Oh, he needs a brawl to break out. And Haney's not giving him the opportunity right now, as he continues with that steady work of the jab. Kamboses tried to cut across with the left hand to the body.
Got to close that distance. Kamboses must close that distance, but be careful. Because Haney, even though we say he doesn't have power, it's double impact if you can catch him right at the right time as he's coming in.
Great.
championship rounds have arrived. To be an undisputed champion in the four-belt era. Bernard Hopkins, the first to do that in 2004. The great Terrence Crawford has a Canelo did it. That super.
You got that right. Let him fucking unload. When we get inside, okay, I can't see one or two punches going. Okay? I will.
That is George Kamboses' father, Jim, hanging over the corner of that red rope there, saying you have to unload.
Yeah, you see the athletic ability and the defensive ability of Haney. And you see the frustration right here of Kamboses holding on to that lead hand of Haney, trying to find any opportunity for an advantage. Nice exit right there. Again, to the weak side.
Staying away from that right hand.
You know, I don't see that often in the sport. Not like that. It's beautiful footwork.
Able to block that punch as well. You can hear Yoel Judah, veteran cornerman, father of the former welterweight champion Zab Judah, just encouraging Devin Haney. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Jab, box, keep doing it.
Clean fight.
Devin Haney, late money started to come in, worked his way to a 2-1 favorite. The overwhelming bet in Vegas was this fight going the distance, and that is exactly where we are headed. And if it stays this course, one would assume a Devin Haney decision win, unless the local, the Spartan Warrior, the champion, can come up with something late here. George Kamboses. He has not been able to unlock the door of Devin Haney so far.
It's easy to figure out Kamboses. It's too easy. Let me tell you why. Because every time he reacts with a two-punch combination. Haney knows that. Anytime you see him avoid a shot and then come in and attack, it's with two shots only. Haney just gets himself off the line and fires back at times, and sometimes he just clears like that. That's one shot right there from Kamboses.
Red, watch your head, watch your head.
Yes, he is. And he does need to knock out the win on my scorecard.
Javier, the veteran trainer, South Florida-based trainer of George Kamboses, also the trainer of Xander Zayas, the excellent welterweight prospect who is signed by Top Rank. And just more of the same. Even on that offensive surge from Kamboses, it's a right hand, and it's out the side door for Haney. And you can hear the cascade of boos from the locals. Their guy has to come up with something at desperate times. Let's listen in to the corner.
You need to go ahead and press, but you can't lean forward to press. You need to get those feet underneath you and press behind that jab or a nice solid right hand left hook. I need you to end every single combination with that lead hand. It keeps you in position to defend anything he throws.
Come on, my round 12.
Let me see a little bit more trunk movement, okay? Nice deep breath.
Little take the pace before you attack, please. Good
Stop
train.
for me.
Come on, Mike.
Dig deep this round, okay? Don't jump in.
More Haney right here. Nice little jab right there. You see Kamboses throwing where Haney was going as opposed to at the target. That's the reason why he was able to land. But Haney's too slippery in that ring. Eyes are wide open. This is the sharpest that I've seen Haney in his entire career.
They're going to touch him up for the 12th and final round. Undisputed lightweight championship on the line. Devin Haney came out confident, feeling he's 3 minutes away from bringing all the belts back to Vegas. CompuBox has him with a 136-104 connect advantage, a 74-34 jab connect advantage for Devin Haney, the young American, 23 years old. You heard from the corner of George Kamboses, you have to press, you have to send the right hand, you have to bring the left hook, and you have to end every combination with that lead hand. Easier said than done against the technician and the super skilled Devin Haney. Example A, right there.
Haney got to win this round too. Win this round too. Don't let off the gas right now. Use that stick and that boxing ability to keep frustrating Kamboses. Kamboses need to knock out the win, but I don't think he have enough energy in the tank to be able to get this knockout.
More redness developing around that right eye of George Kamboses.
Right.
On the line. Crowd trying to rally support for Kamboses here. Right hand to the flank. He needs to absolutely unload.
Break. Hey.
And they are bubbling up with confidence in the corner of Devin Haney. On top of the ropes, and will he soon find out he's on top of the world?
Literally Balling is the title of my art studio.
The scene here in Melbourne as the ring is packed, and Devin Haney hopes the judges agree with the reality his team feels was put forth here. Our three judges include Sultan Enayete from Hungary, who mostly is at the championship level in the UK and throughout Europe. Paweł Cardini from Poland, who has over 900 bouts judged in a 21-year career. And Benoit Roussel from Canada, who has been on the right side of many ringside observers' opinions and scorecards for over 18 years. No geographical bias, no Australian, no American. And if they see it the way most ringside observers see it, then 23-year-old Devin Haney is about to find out that he's the undisputed lightweight champion of the world.
There's without no doubt in my mind, 12 rounds to 0, maybe 2 rounds that I saw possibly that I can give to Kamboses This is a clear shutout in favor of Devin Haney.
And the crowd of proud Greek Aussies stands in silence, anticipating the judges' scorecards that'll read that way. And to think the path that Haney took to get here, from his great amateur career to traveling the country with his father, picking up all the great tips and tricks of the trade from various veteran cornermen, to turning pro in Mexico on club shows to learn the ropes the hard way, to then taking the criticism of many pundits for being elevated to a WBC interim champion, getting through the obstacles of Linares and Jojo Diaz, and taking this fight, traveling to Australia, taking the rematch clause, thinking he would do it without his father, and now...
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds, we go to the scorecards. Zoltan Anyeti and Benoit Rousseau both scored it, 116 to 112. Pavel Cardinha closed it, 118 to 110. All three judges have it for the winner by unanimous decision. From Las Vegas, Nevada, USA, now the universally recognized undisputed lightweight champion of the world, Devin the Dream Haney.
Devin the Dream Haney. The dream is now a reality. At 23 years old, the Oakland native, the Vegas resident, will head back to the States with every belt there is to grab onto.
He is the man. I don't want to hear anything else. No more excuses. No more his flowers right now. Devin Haney is the king right now at 135 pounds.
In a very deep division. A division with Vasily Lomachenko and Tank Davis. A little bit of tension between these two camps. There was a lot that was said this week at various press conferences. But this division, Tim, at 135 pounds, throughout the division, with Ryan Garcia, with Teofimo Lopez set to make his return, possibly 140 pounds in his future, Tank Davis, Lomachenko, and now Devin Haney on top of them all. Remember, contractually, there is an auto rematch. That would be set for the early fall here in Australia. We will have all the post-fight interviews and the celebration of the American who's now the undisputed world champion coming up as Kamboses and Haney meet in the center of the ring, and SportsCenter is coming your way right now.
Post-fight coverage coming your way right now on SportsCenter as well as on ESPN+. Welcome to SportsCenter. I'm Nicole Briscoe. Michael Eaves across the room. We have a short show, buddy. We're going to take you up to 1 a.m. Eastern Time. He's standing by with Mark Kriegel. He's going to break down that fight from Marvel Stadium.